Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I would like to talk about the second last chapter of the syllabus, which is chapter 9, critical reflection. In the textbook, it is chapter 8 on page 199, form the neighborhood watch. The objectives of this chapter is first to explain the purpose of critical reflection, second to describe the four fundamental elements in the critical reflection process, third is to explain how critical reflection helps the project team, and fourth is to discuss the measurement fundamentals. What is reflection? Reflection is embedding continuous process improvement in the re-engineered business operation. In an everyday sense, reflection is a looking back on experiences. In an industrial and professional context, it is a looking back on experiences so as to learn from them. Therefore, reflection is a means of constructing knowledge about oneself and about the world. So you want to look back what are the progress that has been made in the project. Critical reflection can be defined as the process of analyzing, reconsidering, and questioning experiences within a broad context of issues. For instance, issues of product improvement, process improvement, issues related to social justice, curriculum development, learning theories, politics, cultures, or use of technology. Critical reflection means making the critical analysis. Making analysis critical means moving beyond collecting, processing, and reviewing data. After asking what is happening, also discuss why is it happening, what happened that was good, what happened that was not good. So what are the implications for the project? What beliefs, attitudes, or hidden agendas did the team bring to the situation that negatively affected the outcomes? What could the project team have done before, during, or after the situation that would have produced more positive outcome? What beliefs and attitudes could the project team have brought to the situation that would have made the outcomes more positive? And then now what do we do next? Who is accountable for testing out these recommendations and communicating them through the project and to other projects? The true purpose of critical reflection is to anticipate the future by making preventive incremental improvements to processes and products before they break or become obsolete. So you will come up with a list and analysis of factors to be taken into account when evaluating the effectiveness of business processes. The critical reflection process contains four fundamental elements. First is a set of measures that provide information about how the process is performed and the quality of its outputs. So you will assess the progress of the project. The measurement fundamentals will be discussed later in this chapter. The second fundamental element of critical reflection is a collection process that gathers performance and quality information quickly and accurately. So the re-engineering team will gather the information related to performance and quality. The third fundamental element of critical reflection is analytical techniques to help people understand what the data means, how to analyze data, what analysis to be used, what are the statistics involved, and how to read the data. Finally, the fourth fundamental element of critical reflection is an easy-to-use problem-solving methodology for generating ideas and implementing the best solutions for improving the process or product. We have covered this problem-solving methodology in Chapter 5, the 8 steps with purpose, outcomes, and key activities. To model the critical reflection process, it begins with developing the re-engineering vision, values and goal statement and the blueprint. These two documents, values, vision and goal statement and the blueprint, are in the step 2 and step 3 of business reengineering project methodology. So these two documents will help to define the excellence criteria and the goals for processes and their products or the outputs that the project team wants to achieve. Let's take a look at this benchmark table. It shows the excellence criteria, the current benchmark, and the vision goals. This operational benchmark defined the original business case for the re-engineering project that provides the baseline against which change is measured. So if, let's say here, the organization achieves the excellent criteria by the completion of the re-engineering project, okay, for example, the time to response to training requests, the benchmark is 3 weeks and vision goals is 2 days. If they achieve, okay, if they complete by 2 days, okay, for the response to training requests, so the project is a success. Okay, and if the organization continues to achieve or exceed the criteria, okay, then it has maintained the benefits of re-engineering. For instance, the add drop subject for the semester. It might take you 1 to 2 weeks to drop add the subject based on the processes involved. Okay, and then UITM wants to improve the drop add subject process by just completing the drop add subject within 2 days, for example. And if it is achieved, so it is a success. But if it is not achieved, what needs to be done? Okay, what needs to be improved? Okay, so we will have the benchmark of 1 to 2 weeks, and the vision goal is 2 days for dropping the subject for the current semester. After the excellence criteria and vision standards for achievement have been established, project team can use critical reflection process to measure and improve project results as the project proceeds. These are important as the project team members must determine if they are achieving their goals. If they have achieved the goals, it's either they want to maintain that goals, that criteria, or they want to exceed the criteria that they have set earlier. The second important reason is the need to improve and refine the implementation process as it occurs. So that is the purpose of critical reflection process. They must anticipate potential problems and initiate preventive measures if, let's say, they haven't achieved or they didn't achieve the criteria that they have set earlier. It's just like a failure to that criteria, to that process. So they need to improve or they need to refine the implementation process. They need to dig what are the reasons, the problems with that particular process, and they need to initiate preventive measures to improve that particular process to achieve at least the minimum criteria that have been set earlier. There are many advantages and benefits of the critical reflection with its measurements, with the collection process, analytical techniques and problem solving methodology. This critical reflection helps people to analyze work in progress, to ensure quality and goal achievement. So when you have this critical reflection, so you will know at which quality that you need to achieve, what are the goals to be achieved. And then it helps people to anticipate and solve problems with the process. You can detect any problems exist with that particular process, and you try to solve the problems. You will find the solution to the problem of the process. And the third is it helps people to ensure customer satisfaction with results. So basically, business project reengineering is to enhance the customer satisfaction, to ensure the customer satisfaction. So this critical reflection will help the team to ensure the customer satisfaction is achieved. Next, let us move on to the last subtopic of this chapter, measurement fundamentals. Critical reflection requires effective measurements that provide timely and accurate information that can be used periodically to answer these 4 questions. What are those questions? First, are our customer pleased with the products and services we produce from this process or group processes? Are the customers happy? Are they satisfied with the product or services that we produced from this process or this group of processes? Second question is, if they are dissatisfied, what is the specific cause? So you need to analyze, you need to know what are the cause, what are the reason of that dissatisfaction. Third, what part of the process might indicate a potential problems, an opportunity for improvement, or a source of customer dissatisfaction? So you need to dig out problem. Okay, you need to know the root of the problem, the root cause of the problem. Okay, and the last question, should we raise our process performance or product or service quality standards based on the root cause, based on the problem solving, the solution that we plan, that we design based on the problems that we identify? So should we raise the process performance or the product quality standards in order to increase the satisfaction of the customer? So these are the 4 questions for the measurement fundamentals. In order for us to achieve the goal that we have designed earlier, or in order for us to exceed the goals that we have set. There are 4 measurement fundamentals of critical reflection. One of the basic principles of business process re-engineering is to get as close to customer as possible. So to put this principle into practice, a critical reflection process must be able to measure customer satisfaction. So the first measurement is external measure should be customer defined. So that the organization will deliver the right products and services to the customers. The second measurement fundamental of critical reflection is internal process measures help find root causes of customer dissatisfaction. These internal process measures can easily become estranged from the customer if external customer satisfaction measures are not in place. Both external and internal measures are critical in measuring processes and products or services. While the external perspective keeps the organization customer focused, the internal perspective helps uncover the root causes of potential and actual problems. Therefore, it is essential that all internal measures support the total customer experience. For instance, to measure excellence from an external view, The standard would be based on the customer idea of an appropriate response time. Okay, 5 minutes waiting time at the counter, for example. But from an internal view, from the view of the employees in the organization, the standard must be based on what the organization think is best for the customer. So it would be 6 to 7 minutes of waiting time. Okay, so it might be different from the external view of the customers who just want to wait about 5 minutes, but the organization has run the feasibility study, run the research in which they need that 6 to 7 minutes to respond to the customer. So here we can see the root causes of customer dissatisfaction. The customer expected a 5 minutes of waiting time or response time, while the organization can just provide 6 to 7 minutes waiting time. Moving on to the third measurement fundamentals of critical reflection, that is, quality can be quantified just like productivity. Okay? So most of the time people will think that quality is abstract and cannot be measured systematically. That is incorrect. Okay? Quality can be measured. Okay? The goal should be to find quantitative ways to measure qualities. It might be difficult in some cases, but it is not impossible. So we have the way on how to measure the quality. At a minimum, quality should be measured with an overall customer satisfaction measure followed by details on factors to identify what drives the overall quality satisfaction rating. Let us take a look at the example given on page 204, figure 8.4, training center operations. This is the criteria for excellence, satisfaction with training courses. So let us take a look at the measurement for external customer. Okay, the differences between quantity and quality. As for the quantity, how to measure the quantity of satisfaction with training courses? Okay, we take a look at the percentage students completing courses. Okay, percentage employees attending the courses per month. Okay, so this is how we measure the quantity, how we measure the satisfaction with training courses, the quantity of it. Okay, and then the quality of satisfaction. How do we measure the quality of satisfaction with training courses among students? We look at the percentage students rating program as excellent or very good per course. Okay, or we can look at the percentage of graduated students rate as improved or very improved in job performance related to training per course. As for the internal perspective, the internal process, it also can be measured using both quantity and quality. As for the quantity, we can take a look at the number of scheduled courses per month, for example, or the students' fees paid per course day. As for the quality, we can take a look at the instructors rating course operations support as excellent or very good per month, or the percentage student materials returned for incompleteness per month. So we can say that quality can also be measured just like the quantity, even though in some cases it might be difficult, but it is not impossible. So we can measure the quality of the satisfaction of the customer, by using the appropriate measurement to it. Finally, the fourth measurement fundamentals of critical reflection is measures should be based on a common unit so that people are comparing like items and can assess change over time. The total number of students attending course may not be meaningful. However, the number attending courses per month is meaningful. You should add per month. The number attending course per year, the percentage of graduate per course within that year, or the student fees collected per course day. So these can assess specific trends in attendance and customer satisfaction. That's the end of the chapter. So for this chapter, you should know what is reflection, what is critical reflection, critical analysis, the purpose of critical reflection, the 4 fundamental elements of critical reflection, and the 4 measurement fundamentals of critical reflection.